back. Ooh, the crowd's going wild. Brian is back. He's here to talk about design rules he likes to break. You like to break rules?
I do.
I mean, you look like a rule follower, not a rule breaker.
I'm a rule breaker.
You're a wild man.
Wild.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the rules. The first rule is, and I think we've all heard this one, your wood finishes have to match. What do you say about that? No. No. They don't have to match.
That's with everything. Everything shouldn't match in your house. You don't want sets and things like that.
Yeah.
So look at this. This is an interior we did a few years ago, and we did all the paneling in this beautiful oak, but then we needed contrast. So we did the black on the chairs, the charcoal gray on the desk, because if it all matches, it's sort of boring, and your eye doesn't have any contrast. You need the contrast.
Yeah.
On this one, we did sort of a taupey floor, and then that white wood oak table.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's like mixing these two together. So you've got the dark floor.
Yep.
And so the key is when you're mixing woods, you really want to have that contrast. So
Absolutely.
That's important.
So like you've said this before, you don't want the woods to be sort of just two shades apart from each other, because that's going to look like a mistake.
Correct. It just looks off.
Okay.
So the same thing here. Look at that here with the wood there and then the dark floor.
That's
so
nice.
It's really all about contrast. You want contrast.
Okay, I love that. So you can break that rule for sure. The next rule, art should only be hung on the walls.
Absolutely not.
No. Where else are we hanging it?
We did this where we leaned the art on a console, and I love the way that looks because you can layer them.
Yeah.
You could even do a painting with a photograph, so really layer them.
Yeah.
In this one, I did it on an easel. See the way it's off?
That's stunning.
So you could do that in this particular case against with a wall, but if you have a wall of windows, you can do that on windows. Like a lot of the condominiums are all glass. So this is a great idea.
That's a beautiful idea. This is the best. Like, I love when laziness becomes design.
Exactly.
Because I would totally do this. I would just lean my art up against anything, and then it looks beautiful, because my dad usually has to come over and hang our pictures.
Exactly.
He uses his little level, and, you know, he does it exactly, but this is so much easier.
Yeah, if you're a bit of a klutz, don't smash the wall with a hammer.
Yeah, don't
Use
do
this.
it. Just lean it. This one, to me, I've never seen before, and I love it. So art in the middle of a bookshelf.
A bookshelf. We've done that quite a few times, and a lot of people say, oh, my bookshelves are so big, and I can't fill it with all these things, and I don't want all these tchotchkes and books on it. So put the books around it, and then we just mounted it. So we actually put the hooks on the front of that shelf right there, and then the painting is hanging there.
That is brilliant. Okay, let's check out our next rule that he is breaking. Small spaces should only be painted or wallpapered in light colors. You should only use light colors for your small spaces.
I love small spaces in dark colors because they're cozy and they're dramatic.
Yeah.
So you walk into a space and it's light, you know, it's small, it's light, doesn't get a lot of light maybe. It's just going to look like a little small claustrophobic space.
Yeah.
So make it dramatic, like we did this one in this dark green, and we did the wallpaper and the drapes the same color.
Nice.
So it was really this envelope, and then the furniture was light. In here, we painted the bookcases very dark. Again, a small little office. It was a little den. And in this one, we painted the walls a dark blue. And all the furniture was dark also, and very dramatic. It draws you in. It's very cozy. You want to spend time in those spaces.
It's the drama of it all, the sexiness. This one is my favorite.
I know. Cozy.
Who knew? Like the blue, it looks absolutely stunning. I love that.
We did a space recently, and it was not a big space, and it was a living room, but it was really too small for our living room.
Yeah.
And so we made it into this bar, and we did the walls chocolate brown and the drapes chocolate brown and the furniture chocolate. And the client says everybody just goes in there. They just find it so cool and so cozy.
It's cozy and intimate, and it's all of a sudden I have my own speakeasy.
Exactly.
Look at that. Everyone's going in the secret dark room. It's a good place. Let's talk about mixing metals. So don't mix metals. Just pick one finish and stick to it.
Well, that's wrong, and we're seeing that more and more. We're seeing that, you know, kitchens are one of the areas that have the most metals. You have your faucet and your oven and your light fixtures and your sink. So in this one, we did black details in the cabinets. We chose the black for the light fixture and the hardware, but we did the faucet in brass.
Oh, nice.
And we did a white sink to match the marble, but that became that little jewel in the space. I think if the faucet was black, it's like enough with the black.
Right.
And then in this one, this bathroom, we did have the nickel on the faucet and the nickel on the sconces, but we did the black hardware and the black, you know, on the accents of the mirror. Again, if it was all nickel, it's like enough with the nickel. Like,
right.
Change it up a little bit.
We do tend to do that, though, because it's easier.
Exactly. And we were talking earlier, was it a time that people did it? No, people still do it.
People are doing it now.
My faucet's chrome, everything has to be chrome. No, everything does not have to be chrome.
Mix it up, and I'd say step back and look at it, and it'll look a little bit more alive if there's a bit of a mix of metals.
Like only 2 or 3. 2 in the bathroom. Probably.
Like, don't lose your mind, is what you're saying.
Don't go crazy with that. Yeah, like, yeah. Just
parameters
you
here.
could do like the brushed and the polished in the nickel, and then the black. But I wouldn't do the brass sconces, the black mirror,
It's too
Don't
much.
go crazy.
Okay.
And in this room, we have the black metal on the coffee table and the windows, and then we did the brass for the accents, that little table and the
lovely.
lamp. Again, that little sparkle, that little jewel.
Hold on a second. Do I know that book? Yep, it's Brian Gluckstein.
Is that my name on there? It's my favorite book.
Okay, don't mix old and new. I want to show this one because it's so lovely. Is it this one?
It's this one right here.
I love this idea of mixing old and new, and you say you absolutely should.
Absolutely. So
Mix it up.
This is a ski place we did in Aspen, and the architecture is very modern. And then we did this beautiful old Dutch painting in an old. The frame is broken and falling apart, and it just added a soulfulness. I think if I put a modern piece of art, it's just too of the same. And in this one, what I did was, this is in Palm Beach, I have an Art Deco table, a 1940s Italian glass fixture, an 18th century gilded mirror, and then contemporary furniture. So look how that looks soulful. It's like wearing an outfit and maybe getting an antique brooch, you know, and a cool bracelet and mix it up. Do that to your house. Have those little moments, those little jewels.
Beautiful. This is like a house that's now alive. It's got personality. Brian, thank you so much. You're rule breaker, you.